Coffee, go-go juice, cuppa, java. For some people, it's the only reason to get out of bed in the morning. My special guest needed that extra boost, so she asked for some Ben & Jerry's Coffee Buzz 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 ice cream. Coffee ice cream with espresso bean fudge chunks. It's a surefire pick-me-up for ChezRawz, typically a nighttime streamer, who has honored me with rolling out of bed to chat. She's a gamer streamer who also has a mean whip stitch and knows her way around the fabric arts. She's just as comfortable slaying digital foes as she is creating her own attire. Perky, a little biting, but always enjoyable to have around. I'm really looking forward to spending a little time getting to know what gets her moving. I'm Pape, and this is Ice Cream with Streamers.
Super internet famous.
Good morning, everybody. And a hello and a special welcome to you, ChezRawz. And thank you for rolling out of bed to join me today.
Good morning, Paul. Good morning, everybody. I'm sorry, I'm sleepy. Thank you for allowing me to roll out of bed this morning.
Yeah, you are very welcome. So first off, we must cheers.
Sounds weird.
We must cheers our ice cream. So here we go. And we're having it in lovely coffee mugs today. As we're getting ready for coffee ice cream here. So cheers.
I don't know how close.
Clink. It's good.
Good morning.
I asked you here today because I am a fan of ChezRawz, and I thought
you're a fan of me.
I am a fan. And,
but I'm a fan of you, Paul.
Well, that's amazing. And then here we are together to have a conversation. So I just really want to get to know more about you. So we are eating coffee-flavored ice cream this morning. A wee bit of a pick-me-up here, as it is early for you.
It is early. 10 years ago, me would have been like 9 a.m. is really late. You slept in.
Oh.
I used to work an office job where I would be at work at 7:30 in the morning, and I had like a 40-minute to 1 hour drive.
Oh,
but
really?
Now 9 a.m. was like, I can't do this. But he did it for you, Paul.
Well, and I do truly appreciate it. I think we all appreciate it, actually. You have actually a lot of guests here to watch you as well. So we're wearing our roll out of bed attire. I think that was a request you had for there. I love your jammies there.
Thank you. This is my Happy Bunny onesie.
The Happy Bunny. I was gonna wear a Deadpool one, but I'm like, that's a sponsor thing. So I don't know. So I was looking for the Christmas Story Ralphie Bunny one, but I couldn't find it in my size. Alas.
That's really sad. I think you look really good as a bunny.
I would have, and then my wife would have been like, "Why did you buy that?" So.
That's true.
You go by ChezRawz, right? Or Shay.
I do.
Or Rars or.
ChezRawz. ChezRawz. ChezRawz.
So what does the Chez stand for? What
Okay, so ChezRawz is well, Chez is French. It means like in the house of is one of the meanings of it. And Rawz is actually the phonetic spelling of my name, which is R-O-Z. But when people see R-O-Z, it's the same as when they see ChezRawz. Really, I didn't fix anything by spelling it differently. Do you mean Rose or Ross or Raj, or sometimes I've had Ron, or there's was it the Fox Rocks? So there's a radio station in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada called the Fox, and when I was in high school I signed up to be part of their like Fox Rocks club, and I got my little card membership in the mail, and it was addressed to Rock, R-O-C, and I was like, all right.
There's no winning. There's just no winning.
There's no winning. I should change my name to Jane or something.
Well, it's okay, Rose. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah, my French teacher in high school too, he always was like, I want to call you Rose because it sounds prettier. That was like a Russian accent. I don't know. Don't ask me to do accents.
It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. So you're a gamer. I mean, I think when I actually found you, you were crafting, but then I saw that you were gaming, and you spend a lot of time gaming, which I think is awesome. I love the way you game. It's when you stream, in that it is mostly that you're just gaming. You're like, oh yeah, and there's a stream here. Every 15 minutes, you're like, oh, I should try to read something.
No. Is it that bad? No.
No. But it's fun. It's fun because you are so into your gaming, and I'm just like, that's excellent. I think that is it's really fun to watch it. And you play some.
That sounds terrible.
Nah. You play some obscure titles that I'm like, I don't even know what this is, but it's interesting. Was it Machina? Was you were playing lately, or some?
Nier Automata.
That's
Nier Automata. It's gonna go down in the history books as one of those great classics, but for now, it doesn't seem to be super popular. It is,
to watch,
but mostly. Sorry.
No, it's very interesting to watch.
It's the hacking parts. But yes, I do. I don't know if you saw that the other day. It was like half an hour on the same part, or more, maybe an hour, just trying to get past the one part. Oh.
I did see, and then you have to play the game multiple times. I'm like, I can barely get through one time on any game, let alone having to play it more than once, and so it would have driven me nuts. But
yeah, you got to play that one at least 3 times, different endings. But there are 26 different endings, so
I mean 26 times.
Yeah, I'm only gonna do the 3. I'll be honest. But yeah, I know I've been a gamer since like the 80s, when my dad brought home the Nintendo Entertainment System, and then my mom and stepdad had a personal computer, which was really fancy, so I was like, "Ooh, what is this?" And so he had really like adult titles, so
some Leisure Suit Larry in there or something, right?
Well, I was gonna say not so adult, but like Duke Nukem, for example, where there's strippers and you can throw money at them. Like, whatever. People think of it as just like killing the bad guys, but there was more to it than that. And so, but now I'm just a primarily PlayStation gamer. But yeah, I don't know. I'm also a sewer, but not really.
A fabric artist is the better way to put that one. It makes you sound more sophisticated, even though what you may feel like it's not very sophisticated, but you're a fabric technician or fabric artist.
There we go. A fabric engineer. No, I'm not engineering things. That's gone too far.
But you sew. And so what are some of the things that you primarily put together? Is it cosplay? Is it things for you? Or is it costume? I mean, what is your primary? I'm asking for all the people out there.
Oh my god. Nothing.
I don't finish anything. No.
I mean, that's not wrong. Okay, so I've made... What have I finished? I made myself a pair of pants. They're really comfortable. Hey. And I've made some bowl cozies, which are great. So if this was at a bowl, I would have had one of my cozies. It's basically like an oven mitt, but for a bowl. And it keeps your hands from getting really cold when you hold it. Yeah. Or if you're eating something really hot and your hands get really hot. But like right now, there's a quilt here.
Yar.
So I'm working on a quilt. I've got some little beanies going on, or toques as we call them up in Canada. A bib thing for my friends having a baby, so it's like a t-shirt where the arms go in, and then it's a bib, and you wrap it around the neck and like snap it. So I don't know.
I'd like to stop you there and say, you said baby as if you weren't 100% sure what she was going to have. She's having a baby? How does this work? A giraffe?
She would probably like having a giraffe. Oh, right on. I have a giraffe.
So you keep. You've mentioned Canada now twice. I'm assuming you're Canadian.
Did I mention Canada twice? Oh man.
Yeah, you have actually. We know you're really big into maple leaves, so.
Oh my gosh.
as you've demonstrated your skill of making maple leaves multiple
You
times
love
on
my
stream.
maple leaves? Oh, they're terrible. Yeah, I'm Canadian. I'm
So
in
you're
British Columbia, Canada.
Well, I mean, there's not. Canada's great. You guys.
Canada is great.
Canada is great. So you guys are in the news all around. Oh,
Really?
Canada.
That doesn't
That's right.
sound good.
No, it's actually you're in the news for better reasons than we're in the news.
I was gonna say you guys are in the news like constantly, and that's just
I
not.
know. Funny pages are only so much we can do. So, so how long have you been doing the fabric arts, as one might say?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea.
These hard-hitting questions.
I know, and I'm thinking. So my Oma taught me how to, and so I crochet too. Oh, look at this. Oh, I made this
crochet
too.
as well. Do you find it relaxing?
I do.
Crocheting?
You crochet?
I do. My mother taught me.
Well, my Oma taught me.
There you go.
So I made this toque on stream
Nice.
for a fancy swamp creature that we know. And she taught me how to crochet when I was like 4 years old or something. But
I will say you have good spacing there. That's a
Thank
hard thing
you.
to achieve. Yes. So since 4 years old, you've been crocheting, and then the other fabric
Yeah.
arts, just whatever suits your fancy.
yeah, pretty much. I think when I was 13, in high school, grade 8, we had to take a sewing part of our home ec thing. So we made boxer shorts, and I was like, I like making my own clothes. This is fun. So randomly since then, I've been picking up, I want to make myself more pants or another shirt or whatever. And this is where we are. So I know you can see this. This is a tunic that I've made actually for a cosplay, because you did mention that. So this is part of a cosplay where I've made the shirt and the pants. I did not finish the cosplay because I'm new to Warbler and thermoplastics and foam, and it was like, wow, and resin casting and things. It's far more intensive and things than I first thought it would be. I was like, oh yeah, not a problem. I can totally do this. Oh, maybe not. A little bit, like with work, yes, but yeah.
Well, I see the
Yeah.
piles and piles of fabric behind you. So obviously you are. Either you bought all that for decoration for your stream, or it's actually something that you're working on lots of things.
That would be so excessive.
It would be a little. Well, I mean, come on.
Yes, I have fabric. I know, right? Oh my gosh, and your room goes like around too. Yeah.
But so this is a nice workspace that you have here. Now, as far as streaming goes, about how often do you game versus craft?
I try to do 2 a week.
Of each?
So 2 streams of games and 2 of crafting. And then crafting, I'll be honest with you, even with gaming, I don't really know what I'm gonna stream until like a few minutes before I start. And sometimes you'll see in my title I've got the little shrug emoji, and I'm like, I don't know what we're doing. It's gonna be really fun. This is not for you, cat. So here we go again.
You have a guess.
So
yes.
yeah, this is Artemis. She's a mooch cat. Yeah. How's your ice cream, by the way? You got the
It
Ben
is-
and Jerry's fanciness.
It is, and I just wrapped it up here. I just finished it. It is very chunky with the espresso bean chunky chocolate bits in it. So that's right. All right. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna take a short pause here so that I know where to edit this out. So when we put it up on YouTube, it's going to look like nothing bad happened at all.
Aw, but the reality of reality, though.
It is the reality of reality. I mean, and it's what happens. It's and honestly, I gotta say that's 70% of streaming right there. You just gotta kind of roll with the punches, and it's you never know what you're gonna do. Is what you were talking about before. You're like, sometimes it's just the whatever comes about, and then sometimes you've got to deal with things like the BSOD in the middle of your stream. So,
Oh my gosh.
but I appreciate that if it had to happen, I'm glad it happened with you as the guest, because I know that you're gonna take it in stride. You're not gonna be like, well, this guy's a complete pro.
What have you done? This was my moment.
Exactly. I banked my entire career on this. My ice cream has melted.
It has melted.
I'm drinking real coffee at this point.
Yeah, I have used some of that too.
Should be Jack at this point.
I'm gonna have it right now though.
But okay, so we were talking now. We had talked before, and because I always ask my streamer friends who I'm going to talk to what their favorite ice cream is, and you actually said like true like built-in vanilla bean vanilla is your ice cream of choice, which is that's good. I mean, yeah, no, that's it's totally okay.
I'm gonna catch all the flack for this, Paul.
No, you're not going to catch any flack. And honestly, I agree. I agree with you on that one. But then we got to talking, and I'm like, you are literally rolling out of bed to do this stream for me, which I appreciate. And I'm like, I would just need coffee, and you're like, hey, that sounds good. So
I do just need coffee.
So are you a coffee drinker normally, or are you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I got my coffee right here, and I've got my water right here, and I don't have my third hand for the mug of ice cream.
If you had a third hand just pop up out of middle holding that would be the best stream ever. Just like
I'll show you, prop maker.
No, so are you a coffee all day drinker, or are you a
yes?
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
usually I'm drinking coffee till. Well, I mean, don't judge me.
No judgment here. This is a judgment-free ice cream store is what this is.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. So usually I'm drinking ice cream or coffee until like 1 a.m. or later. And then I'm like, why can't I fall asleep before 4 a.m.? What is wrong with me?
That might do it a little bit. Now, are you a gourmet coffee person, or are you more whatever you can get your hands on type of thing?
Just a good medium roast and a little bit of sugar and like next to no milk, which is part of why that ice cream was not. It was really creamy, like creamy, like cremo flavored cream, not like a good French vanilla bean is nice and creamy in texture and it's got richness and depth of flavor. But this was like a cremo, like one of those little things at a restaurant table and you pop it and. Yeah.
It's just too much.
It was way too creamy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you win some, you lose some. This episode brought to you by Haagen-Dazs coffee ice cream.
No.
It tastes like I can open a creamer on a table. No.
Oh, it brought me back to being 15 years of age. Where's my waitress? Why hasn't she brought my refills? I'll just have a creamer. No, I never did that, but I had a friend who did that, and I was like, I advise against this.
Now my wife
why.
My wife will drink creamer. I mean, she wants a little coffee with her creamer. That's how she takes it. And I can't do it. It's a splash of milk, and that's about it. So I'm a black coffee kind of guy, so I'm all right with that.
It just barely changes color, and we're good.
Yeah, that's about right. Now I've tried some like civet coffee before. I don't know if you've ever tried that one.
What is that?
That's coffee that has been eaten by a civet. And then
you tried the poop coffee.
Poop coffees.
Poop coffee. I'm not refined enough to call it civet.
Civet coffee.
I just look fancy.
The poop coffee. I gotta say, it's pretty good. It's worth trying at least once in your life, twice if you like it. So it was pretty decent. So. Try to keep the coffee in the mouth there. Yeah. All right.
Try the poop coffee twice.
So I always ask my guests, is this your full-time gig? Is this what you do for a livings?
I mean, in terms of what I do for a living, when it comes to what I do when I wake up, and then what I have to pull myself away from and stop thinking about when I'm trying to like do my dishes or whatever, then yes. In terms of paying bills and things, no.
So is this something that you would like to be more of a professional, like full-time gig that can pay the bills type of situation, or are you Is this some in
Like,
between?
that'd be really cool. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that's like, you know, I'm just sitting here hanging out with my friends, getting some crafting done. Usually it's, like a gift or something for someone else. So that would be amazing. But I have zero expectations on that. Um, no expectations.
So do you sell the crafts that you make, or is it something that you just do for friends and such, friends and family?
Um, I've sold a couple things. So I did have an order like 2 years ago for some bandana bibs and one of those like bucket hats, like a Gilligan's Island kind of hat,
Mm.
for a toddler. And like in February, I had an order for 40 tea light candles. But other than that, I don't. So, Paul, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret about me. I'm kind of lazy. I don't have that like motivation. There's people out there. I know someone very close to me who is just go, 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 and it's gotta make bank, gotta make bank, gotta make bank. And I'm just like, bank will find me if it wants to. It's not a motivator for me, right? I know that I need money so I can eat and have shelter, whatever, but I don't get out of bed like with this drive to, you know. So I'm kind of lazy. So I have an Etsy store, which is where my candle order came from, and I posted my candles on there one time, and a lady bought them all, and I was like, that was great.
I'm done. Thank you.
I'm super amazing.
So
Oh,
you
yeah.
just, I mean, but obviously, I mean, you find joy in doing the things that you do. It's
Yeah,
just,
it's fun.
yeah, it's fun, but you
It's
know,
fun stuff.
but you don't have the drive to be like, I want to do fun stuff that pays me continually. It's just, well, when I get around to doing things, I'll do things and whatever. So,
Um, yeah.
nothing wrong
It's
with
kind
that.
of like that, yeah. So I can work hard under the right kind of pressure if it's for someone else. And I know that that's something that I personally need to work on. If it's for me, oh, I can put it off for years and years and years until it's no longer relevant. And then I'm like, well, whatever. I was gonna do the thing, and I got like 50 to 80% of the way through. I'm amazing. I got almost there. But when it's for other people, um, usually um, I'm pretty on top of it. So I say usually because I just remembered behind me there's some more bowl cozies that someone has requested I make, I think in May or something. And I got the fabric together and I know exactly what's going on, but things came up and I haven't gotten to it yet. Oh, now it's winter. I really got to get on that.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I'm a deadline guy. And if I don't have, I hate when people say, "Oh, whenever you get around to it," I'm like, that will be never. I will never get around to it.
Well,
So
you're so busy, right? When are you going to have the time to like, oh, yeah, I can make work on this now?
well, and that's a big thing with me is I don't do personal projects for that reason. Is I keep myself client busy, which isn't bad. And I think, and you're saying basically the same thing. If you had a bunch of clients asking you to do things, you'd stay on top of it because there's
Yeah.
that motivation to please the client because they want something, right? Right? You know,
Just a little people pleaser over here.
hey, yeah, you gotta take what you can get, right? The flavor of the ice cream today is coffee flavor to motivate Shay to get out of bed, is what it was. So,
You can see the chat. I closed the chat.
well, I keep it
The
open because
truth
eventually
of
they're gonna be able to,
cheeseburgers. Oh, Cass.
they'll be eventually asking us questions. So I thought, well, I should keep it
Yeah,
up there
they
just
will.
in case. So,
I look sickly. Oh man, let's
oh
not look
no,
at that anymore.
I mean next to this
Oh,
next to
my
this
sleepy
pale
puppy.
thing, you're all good. So,
No, you're too kind.
so do you have a background in the stuff that you do besides the class you took in seventh or eighth grade that got you into home ec, or is the fabric thing
Oh,
just something you ever did in training, official training for? Or is it just something you picked up and kind of learned on your own?
mostly it's just been on my own. Which is probably why I'm not very good at it. The only formal. You should see the straight lines I've been sewing on this quilt. Um, The only formal training I've had for sewing, aside from in grade 8, there was like the 3-month period of making boxers, um, was a year and a half ago when I went up to a full day seminar with Ron Collins. We learned professional pattern alterations and fitting for your size. And he is like a fantastic human. But for people who don't know who that is, he's like a rock star in the patterning and sewing world. He's super famous. And it was a really big opportunity to go and hang out with him and learn how to take a store-bought pattern, which is almost always sized really wonky and way too big and has poor instructions, whatever, and make it fit to my specific body. So with all the measurings and how to alter whatever. So aside from that, no training.
But you
I
do a
forgot
good
my
job.
training wheels. Sorry?
I said you do a good job. I mean, straight lines aside. I mean, you don't need to, straight lines are for suckers. You got to be able to just sew, sew. I mean, it's but you're making
Wiggles
things
are the variety of life. The spice.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
Call them artistic lines. They don't need to be straight lines. They're artistic lines.
There we go. I like to think of it as proof of homemade, actually.
Yeah. I agree with
If you're
that.
too perfect, then people think it's store-bought, right? So
Right.
gotta have the wiggles.
And you're like, no, I actually spent time on this thing for you that you wanted. So there's nothing wrong with that. I leave fingerprints on purpose on the undersides of things for that reason.
Do you?
I do, because I want people to know that I actually crafted this by hand. And then
That's
people
really
yell at
cool.
me and say, "Why did you leave a fingerprint on this thing?" I'm like, and I don't want to do it like super noticeable because then they can, I don't know, steal my identity or something.
Yeah.
Like that. So it's just a rando part of a fingerprint somewhere, but. Happy little stitches. That's what somebody said.
Yeah, nice. With the fingerprints, my mom used to give me so I also paint, like on canvas, and for the longest time, I had this thing where instead of signing my name, because like we talked about before, people suck with my name anyways, so I would just stick my thumb into the rest of the paint on the palette and just squish it in the bottom corner. It would always be like a little bit blurry and like messy and just terrible looking, but she'd just get on my case so hard. Why did you put your thumbprint on there? Blah blah blah. That looks horrible. I'm like, it's my signature, and she's like, ah.
So then you scratch a little happy face in it and call it a day. Just
Right.
happy little thumbprint.
What's wrong with and then, because here's the thing, is you never know, and what if in like 100 years they're looking around and like, is this a real Pape? We don't know, and then they look with their little whatever scanners and they're like, oh my god, it's real, his thumbprint is there.
Oh my god, it's real.
No.
Throw it away.
No. Don't be like that. You make wonderful art. Don't
thank
be
you.
like that.
So the next question, I know I asked you before and you laughed out loud on text. It's so loud on text that I heard it. How many any awards or recognition for the work that you do? You're like, does baseball count? Like,
You know what's funny is I originally had something else typed out, the same thing but different, and I was like, let's just go with baseball, because when I was in grade, I don't know, 7, I was on a baseball team, and I sucked so hard. I was pretty much always center fielder and last to bat and whatever, and we won like first place, and they were talking like, we almost made provincials or whatever, and it was just like, wow, nothing to do with me at all, like, but I got a trophy.
so do you?
And the next year, the same sort of situation, I was on a bowling team, so I have a medal.
Hey, I like the bowling. I'm good at the old 10 pin. I did that for many years, and I'll nerd out on some bowling. So it's like my go-to thing. If I have to do a sports ball event or whatnot, I'll go bowling.
Oh,
I have my own shoes, so
Do you? Wow.
I do. And I didn't steal them from a bowling alley. I actually purchased them for bowling.
Why are bowling alley shoes so ugly, anyways?
So people don't steal them.
I guess that makes sense.
That is
They're hideous.
they are
They're
hideous.
so ugly.
They really are. Mine actually look like old man white walking shoes. They're like bright
Yeah.
white Keds or whatever, but they're bowling shoes. So yeah,
I need to adjust this. I'm sorry, my glasses.
no, it's all good. Oh yeah, shake that hair. Very.
Oh, I know. There's no hair to shake. Not anymore.
Speaking of which, so you did something. So when you first started streaming, you were look at me getting all blurry here as my camera loses focus. So apparently my camera's tired too. But you had long hair until just
It's
recently,
morning.
and that you actually made a
I
big event
did.
out of it on your stream. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Um,
No. Next.
I'm such a cheeky bugger sometimes, eh? Like, I honestly, my reaction was like, I got my haircut.
Right. You're like, and end of story. This is captivating, Paul.
Ta-da! No, so wonderful. So what I did was, I have not dyed or bleached or permed or chemically treated my hair whatsoever. So yeah, I had went and got this haircut to, I cut off 17 inches, but it was all wavy. So when it's wet, it was closer to 20. So, but 17 inches of hair, and the ponytail was, because I have a lot of hair, so it was really thick. 3 wigs worth, and I sent that off to Wigs for Kids, and we did a 12-hour charity stream raising money for BC Children's Hospital Foundation, where we raised about $3,200. So, yay,
Oh, wow.
everybody! Thank you so much
That
for all
is-
your hard work.
That is
We
awesome.
did good. We
Yeah,
did
you
really good.
So the Wigs for Kids, man. Of all the charities that I work for, it's Cancer Kids is a big one for me. So I'm really about that. So congrats. When I had at one point the long hair as well, and it too went to charity. Yeah, there are no photos.
Oh,
There are no photos of me. I had long hair for
You're
2 years. There's
lying.
not a single photo.
really? No, you're
Yeah,
telling
like-
lies.
Like long, like yeah, and it's super. Yeah, it just looked horrible.
You're telling lies.
Nope, not a single photo. So how long have you been streaming there, Shay? So yeah, I kind of hear it.
I'm sending you sneaky little emotes. I'm just heading to chat. Sorry. You guys, I just sent that to Paul because that's obviously what I was reminded of. Okay, now I can't see chat again. I've been streaming since April 6th was my first day streaming.
Oh.
April 6th of 2018.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so you've been at it about 9
8
months,
months?
8 months.
Something?
8 months.
That's like a baby.
Yeah,
But
that's
it
pretty.
doesn't poop. Yeah.
So my question is why? Why did you start streaming?
Oh. Okay, so there's like a bunch of different reasons, really, when I boil it. Like, I tried to boil it down, and it's like, really, there's so many different things that went into me streaming. So, I've wanted to stream since 2008, I think. It's a long time ago. In 2004 or 5, I bought myself a webcam and everything. I was like, I'm gonna make YouTube videos, but there was just something about talking into the void that I didn't find appealing. So I never actually did anything with it. Also, I'm very good at procrastinating. So I probably had a bunch of excuses of why I wasn't doing it. But in the end, just, talking and then editing it down and putting it out there, I like Twitch where we can talk, right? So then I was going to on Justin.tv back in the days and IRL and everything, right? I used to watch people there, and I thought, like, I can totally do that. But I didn't for other reasons, very good reasons. And then last year in the summer, I was like, I have a PlayStation and I have whatever, I can totally do this. So I streamed a Destiny 2 playthrough. Oh, it was terrible. It was so terrible. I had no cam, I had no mic. There was this little side chat, and it was the beta release, so they pop you in at level 200, and assume that you've played the game and you know all the controls. And I'd never picked it up before, so I was just staring at it. And I'm like, what buttons do I press? And by the time it was over, I had just figured out the controls and whatnot, and I couldn't figure out how to get back into the game from the start menu. I was like, I spent 2 days staring at that menu, swearing at it. This character's there, and and all these little icons, and I was just let me back in the game. I was pressing everything. I was like, whatever. So, anyways, this past March, I went to my first ever Comic-Con, where I met. Well, there was a couple of panels that were how to work with Warbla, like what is Warbla and how to get started in cosplay. And I'd always been a little bit interested in cosplay and just like curious in it overall. So I went to these panels, and they were hosted by Andy Ray Cosplay, who I'd never heard of before. And I was just like, well, she has cosplay in her name, and look at that cool outfit she's wearing, whatever. And so I went to the panels, and she was very well spoken and articulated, and I feel like I said the wrong word there. Articulate. She was very articulated.
We know she's got multiple joints. It's all good. We know what you were saying.
But she had all this knowledge, and she was very good at sharing it in a very brief amount of time that she was doing. I think it was an hour. And so, and then she said at the end there that she had a booth. Come by her booth. So I went by her booth, and I asked her a couple questions. It was a 3-day con, so I asked her a couple questions on the Saturday, and then I got home Sunday, and I was like, or that night, whatever, and I was like, I have so many more questions. So I went back on Sunday. She was very helpful. And then there was the cosplay contest that I watched, and she was one of the judges. And oh hi, and Artemis, you distracted me. Well, yes, you did. Sorry.
So after Sunday, you met her. You came back. You started.
Yeah,
streaming,
I met her.
assume?
Okay, so I met her, and I asked her. She's like, I stream on Twitch. If you want to just like come and find me there, or check out my YouTube tutorials for your questions, then we can go from there. And I was like, perfect, because I didn't really know what to ask her, but I knew I had questions, so it was terrible. And thank you for getting me back on track. So I went to Twitch like whatever the next day or something. She was already streaming, so I was watching chat go and watching her interact. I had no idea before that Twitch had more than just gaming on it.
Sure.
So eventually I just was like, hi, and she's like super welcoming and happy and like, hey, welcome, and all the people in her chat were really friendly and saying hi and stuff. And then I was like, yeah, I met you at the con on the weekend, because that's what she was talking about. And so then she remembered who I was, and we joked because there was this thing with Jay Baruchel, so because he was there. and then I'm like, yeah, I went and talked to Jay Baruchel because you told me to. So and it just sort of went from there. Like I don't know what happened. I wasn't paying attention. I was just hanging out, and then I was like, yeah, I can totally stream. I can do this. Like I'm gonna render this. I had honeycomb that had most of the honey removed. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna separate that from like the wax and the propolis and whatever. I'll put that on stream. That'll be fun and whatever. So that was my first stream, was working with beeswax, and then it just sort of went. I don't know. And now Andy's really funny because she's like, Shays. She calls me Shays. ChezRawz has turned into Twitch. She's becoming a Twitch. I don't know. It's only been 8 months, but I'm kind of all over the place on Twitch. I don't ever realize.
And, so you keep working with the beeswax then, I take it? You're a huge beeswax fan?
Yeah, about that. I have these really fleeting interests that come and go, and I have tons of beeswax. And I've made board butter and beard balm and those like little wax things that you put on top of like a candle tea light thing, and what are those things called? Wax melts, whatever.
Yeah,
like they're
the
like
infusers,
fragrance things.
right.
Yeah, thank you, infusers. So I made those and lip balm and whatever, and I have all the stuff to make more, and I want to make more. I just haven't gotten to it in the last few months.
You're a professional hobbyist, is what you are.
Yeah,
so,
there we go. I just need to
wrong
be a bazillionaire so I can fund it all. Because like all this fabric pretty much has been purchased from people who are downsizing or estate sales
Okay.
or whatever. So I don't usually buy things new at the store,
Sure.
which helps. Otherwise, I couldn't have this. Are you kidding me? Like when you go to the store, it's like $20 a meter to start.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Tis
there's
not
a lot of
cheap.
meters behind me. And I'm like, ooh, 30 meters for $20. Yes, please.
I've helped my wife clear out some fabric stores before, some clearance fabric stores, and yeah, we all get giddy when the money can be saved. So I understand. I get it.
Fabric
So.
is very.
It is, but you need to start doing some stuff with it. But it's just finding that
I really
motivation
understand
there,
that.
Shay. No.
Nag.
That's my job. All right. So what's something about you that is interesting that people may not know? Besides the fact that you're a professional hobbyist.
I don't know. I talk a lot. People probably know all the things. And as for what I find interesting versus what everybody else finds interesting,
Well,
it's
sure, you're not
probably-
everyone else. You're you. So
Yeah,
what do you? What,
right? I think I'm boring. I'm like
Really?
really boring. I think I'm funny,
Hey, there
so
you
I
go.
say a lot of things. But I think everybody knows.
I think you know how to put little kids in their place. I've seen you do that a couple times. That's impressive. So
Oof.
we do
I'm a
read
child
chat,
boy.
Hinoli or Hinol. We do actually.
Eno!
Yeah.
Hey, Eno!
We actually do
Bonjour,
read the
salut.
chat. We just don't read it out loud to other people. But because you said if they don't read the chat, what's the point? The point is because we do, if something really important comes up, and then we will take questions in a little bit. So because I'd rather the focus be on the guest that's here, as opposed to reading chat. So
You guys, I actually have it so that I can't see the chat because I will get distracted by the chat, and I'm trying not to. But yes, I am Stream Mom. I am here for you,
Stream Mom. There
They
seems
call
to be
me
a,
Stream Mom, yeah.
why do they call you Stream Mom? That's
Oh, I don't know. Because I'm always like, where is your personal protection equipment? And why are you wearing safety glasses? And don't put your hand so close to that thing. It's sharp. Why is it on fire? Like, please hydrate. When's the last time you've hydrated? Have you been getting up and exercising? You need to take breaks. You don't want to lose a foot because you didn't stand up in the last 4 hours.
You
I
need
kind
to
of
come by my
nag them
stream more
into-
often, Shay. I can sit for 6 hours and never move. What are you talking about? So
That's not good.
oh, it's really
that's not
not.
good.
It's really not. My chiropractor loves it though because it keeps paying for his boat. So
Nice. But yeah, I'm always trying kind of.
So Stream Mom. That's a neat name to have there. I didn't know I mean, hey, I've been called worse. So Stream Mom's actually
Yeah.
not too bad. So
It's kind of an honor, to be honest. But at the same time, I'm like, are they super sarcastically saying that? Like, yeah, stuff it. I'm an adult. I'll freaking hydrate when I want to.
I know some people like other streamers who definitely need that reminder, and they're like, oh, right, as if they're toddlers and need the constant reminders and such. So it's not.
Well,
it's not that.
your brain gets pulled in many different directions while you're streaming.
It does, and you're spending a lot of time focusing on trying to entertain, as well as getting the thing done. That I don't know how many times I'll get done with a stream and I'm like, I have to pee so bad. I can't believe I managed to make it this far without being like, I gotta stop. Like basic bodily functions here. No, I understand.
Do you not take breaks? Because so here's the thing for people who don't know. Paul is a fantastic human being, and I used to watch Paul all the time. But my
Used
sleep
to.
schedule. What's that?
Used to. He's so great. I used to watch him.
I know it's terrible. I used to watch Paul all the time, but because Paul starts at what time do you usually start? Like 7 a.m.
9:30 in the morning. So it'd be 7:30 for you. Yeah.
7:30 a.m. for me. And you guys know that I will stream until like 2 a.m. ish, right? So I can't get up in time. So the amount of times where I wake up, I turn on my phone, and it's like I get all the alerts pop in, right? And one of them will be like, Pape Designs has gone live. And I'm like, yes! and I click it. And I look at the time. I'm like, it's not even noon yet. Perfect. I'll at least see his face for like a second, and then I click it, and he's just like popped a host over somewhere, rated whatever.
At 2
So
p.m. I gotta stop at 2. 9:30 to 2 is a pretty decent time.
I know. I know.
It's a
I'm not
large leap.
judging you. I'm just saying that's why I don't get to see you. So the other day, was that Thursday, when I woke up just like at 9 a.m. I'm like, why the fuck am I awake? Well, don't go back to bed. You gotta get up early Monday. Because I gotta be here on Monday today. So I turned on my phone. I was laying in bed mostly asleep, and I was like, Paul is on. Yeah. Finally watching Paul. It's like once a month I catch your streams now.
It's fine. This is interviews about you. It's not about me. I mean, people can this all day long. That's fine. This is about you. So
I refuse to accept that it's an interview. It's too much pressure. I'm hanging out with my buddy Paul.
You are literally hanging. I mean, that is. Oh, cheers! I'll cheers you there. Ka-chink.
The surprise cheers.
That's right. That's right. So, is this something you plan on doing for a while? I mean, is it
streaming?
Yeah, streaming and the crafting and the gaming and I mean, obviously you've been gaming for years and years and years, and so that's something I don't see you giving up anytime soon. But doing it in front of people as an exhibitionist, are you? Is that something that you plan on doing for a while?
I mean, yeah, I think as long as people keep showing up and hanging out with me, or letting me hang out with them, then for sure. If that goes away, then I don't know, maybe. Sometimes I'm a bit of a narcissist, so maybe.
Well, I think I'm a firm believer in that this is a step towards our future. Like, this is the future of entertainment, is people watching other people and, like, kind of seeing, how the grass is greener. They do their 8-hour day as an electrician or as a accountant or whatever, and then they want to come down. They want to see somebody game, or they want to see somebody doing some kind of craft, something like that, either for motivation or just to relax. I mean, if I had a nickel for every hour I spent watching Bob Ross paint, I'm like, I'm not going to paint like Bob Ross, but it's calming to have something on. I like, but I don't need to watch reality TV or any of that crap. And so I think that, this is truly the future of what we're doing. But we're in like the really, really early version of it. And so eventually this will be the thing that people just, sitting on the subway, they'll just put on their whatever weird eye gear that allows them to surf the world, and then they just watch whatever it happens to be. And so Shay's gonna be on there like, oh look, Shay's on, and I don't know what the hell she's doing today, but she's doing something. And
yeah,
so we're gonna watch it. It's there's the emote. I don't know what that is.
I kind of agree with you. It's either that or the world's gonna explode and we won't have internet anymore, and we'll be back to stick systems and mass. I won't get into. Sometimes I go too far.
Well, in that case, I'll just cut a hole in this monitor and then have somebody stand on the other side. Then I'll act like I'm streaming to people just sitting in my living room. That's what it'll be. So. Yeah,
right. So exactly, it's just with the progression of technology and the way that things have been moving, especially if you look at YouTube, and now with YouTube having like Fox News and CNN and stuff like that, they're all becoming creators on YouTube, and so standard television is sort of disappearing in a way. Netflix is taking way over, even they're like in $20 billion of debt or something, but they're totally taking over from regular television, and YouTube and Twitch are doing the same thing. It's just that there's Twitch, and I guess there's other like Mixer and stuff, right? It's so interactive. That's my favorite part. So I'm kind of a bit of a homebody. I'm very extroverted, but I have social anxiety and whatnot. So sometimes it's hard for me to get outside, and Twitch allows me to. Twitch enables me to stay home, right? But I can hang out with all of these amazing people from all over the world, like Eno, for example, who is in France.
Well, and that's another thing I love about Twitch, is that it's global. It's not this people in my neck of the woods type of situation. So I can see people in Canada, or I can talk like one-on-one with people throughout the world, and as if you are literally my neighbors, and just kind of hanging out with you. It makes the big world a smaller place. Now, if you were to perform in the future, if say augmented reality took over more, and instead of you sitting here staring at the black, soulless eye of the camera like I'm doing now,
hello, Hal.
but instead it was more like it was more augmented reality, where you could actually see versions of the people you're chatting with. And so you would see them like come into the room or whatnot. Would that be more or less intimidating for you as a person who's got social anxiety or something like that? I mean, do you prefer the blankness of talking to the void and just seeing the chat, or would it bother you?
That's a very good question.
Well, that's why I'm interviewing you. No.
You're like, I have all these good questions. I need someone to ask them to. Shay looks like a guinea pig.
Hey, you're the person I'm chatting with today, so I'll give you the deep. No, that sounds horrible. I'll give you the deep
Give
questions.
me the deep.
No, wait. No, wait.
Oh, does Greek know about this? I almost got you to spit it out.
Almost a spit take there, yes. Oh my goodness. The deep questions. The deep questions is what I was going for.
What were we getting deep with again?
Hey!
Okay, I can't really say because I haven't experienced it, but when I am in a group of friends, I have two best friends, like since grade 8, since we were 13 years old. So that's more than half our lives. So we've been best friends. And when it's the three of us sitting and chilling and hanging out, totally fine. If I stand up and I'm talking, like say I have to like go get another drink or I'm going to use the washroom or something. If I stand up and then they're suddenly looking up at me, for some reason, I'm like, oh, I need to just sit back down. This is too much. So I think if people, like if we were talking and there was like a little hologram of Paul, or like a life-size hologram, just a little one just right there on the computer, just running around. I think it would be too much for me with social anxiety. But then again, I assume it would be like a gradual progression and it would just be normal. So
I think it's going to be more avatar than anything else. Like I do the Oculus, I do the virtual reality, and I find that like I can sit and have a chat with somebody in VR, and it's just their avatar sitting in front of me, and they look like a cartoon. They don't look like them. They, it's something more. And I was talking with my earlier guest, Protean. He's like, Twitch needs to have this thing for people to go like AR or VR wise, where you wander through this hallway and you see all the different streamers, and you can see them on there, and you can see the people, virtual versions of them, of their guests, like in the room, and you can see the ones who want to chat are sitting closer, the ones who just want to kind of observe or kind of hanging out, but you can like peruse their old VODs or what they make, their stores or whatnot. And I'm like, that's a really interesting idea as far as like where to go with all this. I mean, I'm from a theater background, and so performing in front of people is something that I really enjoy, and so I find that is to me it's enjoyable. It is my wife's like second circle of hell, and even though she's a theater person too, it's just different sides of that track. And so I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time you're a streamer, so you don't mind performing or hanging out and just chat, talking, chatting, having conversation and whatnot. And it's all stream of consciousness. So it's not like you're having to prepare a speech or, present something that people are going to hold up as gospel. It's just having a conversation. It just happens to be a conversation with people all around. And I think there are more people in your situation with the anxiety of being in front of people that are finding a nice way of an outlet for it via streaming and such. And I think that even though it's insular in that you don't leave your home, it's broad and it's more outgoing than people realize.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry,
like,
my cat is kicking me.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. It's like it's a lot like going out to eat and you notice like 10 people sitting at a table and they're all texting, but they're texting each other instead of talking. It's weird. It's weird, but they're having a great time. But you're like, why don't you just say it out loud? Because they can't. It's like I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, so I understand both sides of it. Totally not a cult.
What's happening over there? The Church of Roz, Sky.
You are not on your own channel. Manners. Nah, there are no manners here. We're just hanging out. We're just having fun here. So.
I try to behave. Why are they telling me to settle down? Oh.
No.
I think I remember.
Yeah, it is mature audience. I knew Shay was showing up today, so I put the mature audience and the child lock on the door. So we're all good here.
The child lock. That doesn't stop them.
It never does. It only stops adults who can't figure out how to use it. So
exactly.
Yeah, I think as far as what is something like if you had a dream job, what would be the dream job that you would pursue? I'm curious. As opposed to being just the person who sits at home and plays. I mean, video gaming maybe, but what's a dream job for you?
I don't know. Well, it changes, right? So I was gonna say I used to say modeling, so I did modeling for a little bit, and it's a lot more effort than people think it is. The amount of poses you have to memorize and be able to instantly, hold this for 2 seconds and then change like this. And it's a lot of almost contortionism, and people don't realize that. You can see in the high fashion magazines when they're just sticking all weird with the collarbones and stuff. But it's 10, 12 hours of standing there and just moving little bits at a time. And then lots of travel and whatnot. But I think maybe voice acting or writing. I used to really want to be a writer as well. I write, totally just collect everything that's leaning to the arts. I'm I've probably tried it or I've really wanted to try it. I haven't made my own fabric from nettles and things, but one day I'm gonna do it. I haven't made my own paper, but I've got books about it, and I'm gonna do it one day. Yeah, maybe right now I seem to be pointed more in the direction of voice acting, which is something that I did dabble with 10 years ago. But it was all corporate stuff.
Sure.
So I'd like to get more into animation and maybe voicing video games and things like that.
Well, you just really just got to do it. Just do it. Just take the leap. You did it with the streaming, You just popped it out there and just started streaming. I mean, start by reading books or something like that. I mean, that would be that'd be a good way for you to start into that.
Yeah, first I need a pop filter. And then I need to make
that's
my
pantyhose and a wire hanger, lady. You can get that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have pantyhose, but yeah. I have dress socks.
Dress socks, as long as they're thin enough. I mean, literally, when I started my podcast 8 years ago or whatever, that's what my pop filter was. It was a pair of my wife's old pantyhose and then a wire hanger, and I just tape it to. Yeah, that's all it was. So.
And that works for sound quality.
Oh yeah.
Because
I mean, look, this thing right here. That's all this is a pair of.
No, I know it's just mesh.
It's really thin. Yeah, and then just as long as you got a wire hanger wide enough to stick it at, to straighten it out. That's all you need. No excuses, Shay.
Well, I didn't know. It's just, so the thing is with voice acting is it's very similar to acting, right? So you need to have some sort of portfolio. Excuse me, or a CV, and you need to have be your own agent. I don't know. I need there's so much to learn about it. I don't know where to go to be here's my mixtape.
Here's my mixtape. Just sitting on the subway. There's no subways where you're at, but you're gonna hand out mixtapes on the subway entrance anyways. Yeah, it's actually not as hard as you might think. We can chat about that. I mean, I'm happy to take you. To take you aside. Are you frozen? Oh, you were frozen for a minute. There you go. All right. Because I saw this excellent weird face you were making, and I'm like,
of course.
I'm like, she's really interested in what oh, she's not. She's frozen. That's what that is.
Sorry. Didn't mean to fake you out.
No, it's all good. It's Maybe she's acting. No, but there's definitely easy ways to get into that. We can chat about that. I'll give you some links and such to just kind of get the ball rolling.
I used to do like voiceless.com, and like there was a few, but they were pretty much. No, I would not recommend.
No.
Would not recommend. Or Fiverr. You should try Fiverr.
Oh, Fiverr. Yeah. I've done some jobs and paid for some jobs on Fiverr, and you get what you pay for on that place.
Oh yeah. I can imagine. I only know about Fiverr because of PewDiePie and the like little controversies he's gotten himself into.
My favorite is the we'll design your website for $5, and you're like, I'll sure, let me check this, and no, you get a $5 website. So, but I mean,
yep.
Anything that you can do to earn the extra money, I guess that's one way to do it. So,
well, anyways,
do you want to keep chatting? Or you want to open it up to questions? Does anybody have any questions for her? What flavor did she eat earlier? What flavor she ate earlier? Said Dark. Dark asked what flavor did she eat earlier? That would be coffee. Coffee flavored ice cream is the ice cream.
It was coffee flavored ice cream.
Yeah.
It was very like creamy, like creamy. So I didn't eat very much of it. Plus I had like toothpaste mouth because I just woke up. So.
Well, I appreciate you brushing your teeth for the stream here, since we're all gonna know.
I try to. I do. I know. Hey, Coralise. So Coralise is always teasing me about that too. I'm like, I'm gonna be late for stream. I'm brushing my teeth, and they're just.
It's like, why? Now, are you the person who brushes their teeth and then rinses their mouth out, or are you the person who brushes their teeth and then does not rinse their mouth out?
People out there don't rinse their mouth out?
Yeah. Apparently, because of the fluoride in the toothpaste, you're not supposed to rinse your mouth out. You're just supposed to spit out what you can, just leave it in your mouth, the rest of it, whatever, and then go about your day, and that allows the fluoride to actually penetrate your teeth. To me, that's kind of gross, because it's like, well, here, let me lather up with all the soap and then just leave it on me because I'm trying to get the dirt off. It's weird. You're trying to get stuff. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is why having a little knowledge in things is not good for you, because then you're like, but that doesn't. Okay.
That makes no sense. Why would you do that? I don't care what. I don't even have fluoride in my toothpaste. I got fluoride-free toothpaste, so it doesn't even matter to me.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I mean, I don't spend. So I do know some people will, like, they'll spit it out and they'll rinse, and then they'll get their toothbrush all super watered up and they'll brush a couple times with just water. And I've always thought that was odd too.
What's the point? Is Paul a good host? Is he making you nervous? That was a question.
Paul's a fantastic host and a good friend, and no, I am not nervous. I'm sleepy though. I'm sleepy, and that might be coming through.
Oh no, you're fine.
Sorry.
You're doing fine. But is fluoride a toxic waste product? No, it's supposed to be good for keeping your. Yeah. Anyways, they make bacon flavored ice cream, so why not toothpaste flavored ice cream? Well, that'd just be mint. But mint is actually worldwide America is the mint place for toothpaste. Most places they don't even use mint flavored toothpaste. Mint is a
really.
Yeah. They use other things.
What? What do they flavor it as then? So I've seen
like matcha, I guess, is a big one. Like tea flavors are big ones. But yeah, I don't know. I see people like cherries and that kind of thing, but not mint. It's yeah. Do you like mint Tic Tacs or orange Tic Tacs? Asks Biska.
Mint Biska.
Mint.
I don't like orange Tic Tacs. They have like a really weird aftertaste.
Now, do you remember? Because you seem to be. You said the '80s, so you can remember things from the '80s. Do you remember cherry flavored Certs? Do you remember that from a kid? Do you remember Certs as a candy? I mean, you're Canadian. Maybe they didn't have them up there.
Certs are delicious.
Okay. So you know what Certs are. Do you remember there were cherry flavored Certs?
No.
They were just cherry enough with a little bit of mint to them. That was Anyways, that's
possible.
Paul
I just never.
In the old Wayback Machine there. So,
Certs are good. I love them.
Certs are delicious. Okay.
We can be friends. Love you, Biska.
Biska says, do you put cream and sugar in your coffee?
I do.
Yes. We discussed that briefly. I'm looking to see if there's any other questions that we had for her. Let me see.
I put like a little bit of sugar and like the teeniest bit of milk, just enough to change the color.
Now,
That's
why
it.
the sugar?
So I'm not sweet, and I need help with that.
To be less bitter. Now, do you know the secret of if you get like really really bad bitter coffee at like a restaurant or something like that, something that's been there too long, how to make it palatable? Do you know the secret to that? It's to add
No.
just a pinch, like a few grains of salt.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, because it confuses your taste buds. Um, are you gonna make candles on stream again one day?
One day, Windstar. One day.
And then
I
what
keep
are
saying
your?
I'm going to.
You're always gonna say yes, but you're
Well, I
but,
want to. I keep having plans to, and then the thing is, I have to do my kitchen, and my kitchen is not the biggest, and the setup of it is not the best, and so it ends up being very dark
hmm.
and hard to see the chat and whatever, um, and then also, remember I said before that I'm lazy. Sometimes my kitchen's just really messy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's way too much. So to clean the kitchen and then stand in the kitchen for like, so it's like a 12-hour day of standing in the kitchen, and I'm no, thank you.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, space always seems to be the biggest thing.
Yeah.
That's weird. Okay, so what's your next big project, Shay?
My next big project. Oh my gosh. Who asked that? Why are you doing this to me?
That's
So
Denver.
big stand. My next project, I need to finish the cosplay. I have this list of cosplays, so that's basically my next project that's big, is to finish all these cosplays. I'm going to make, to the best of my ability, using all the Worbla and thermoplastics, are you familiar with Captain Canuck at all? So Captain Canuck, to get most people to visually picture what he looks like, is like the new Captain America, like the Avengers style.
The
With
Canadian
the
Captain America.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
Captain
Well, except
Canada.
Captain Canuck. Anyways, it's fine. He, okay. My point is, I get to turn Captain Canuck into a gender bend, so into female, full armor cosplay with
Ooh.
Warblade.
Ooh.
And so that's like a whole pile of things I've never done before, right there. So that's actually what I was working on. That's why I needed these little maple leaves. Oh my god, that's why I made these little maple leaves, so that I could work on my Captain Connect um, um, gender bend arbor thing. So that's going to be the next like really big project, because it's a whole lot of I don't know what I'm doing
Okay.
and horrible.
Soda23 wants to know what's your morning routine. That's a weird question there, but all right, we'll run with it.
Soda. Oh, my morning routine is like I get out of bed and I'm like, I don't want to be out of bed. Oh my god, I have to pee, and then I go pee. That's the only part of my morning that's a routine. Because I have a cat, and she'll be like, no, I need this right now, or that, or whatever.
That is fair
So that's it.
enough. They want to know if you're gonna wear that costume, or if you're trying to build that cosplay costume for C4.
For C4? Oh, yeah, I keep meaning to look at that. Hang on, let me write that down. Sorry. Super pro guest streamer. 4C. Oh, wait. No, that is the one. It's the other one. Emerald. 4Es. That's what I was thinking of. What is it called? E4? The Emerald, whatever. Anyways, ECCCC. There's one in Seattle. There's a Comic-Con in Seattle in the middle of March, and that's what I was like, oh yeah, I keep meaning to see how much that would be to go to. But yes, I want to make this for 4C, which is Capital City Comic-Con, which is March 22nd to 24th. Chapter House Publishing, who owns the rights and publishes and distributes Captain Connect, they will be there.
Oh.
And maybe Jay Baruchel will come back. Because he's the what's it called, the chief creative officer or something for Chapter House Publishing. So
Okay.
yeah, I know when Star figured it out.
Let me see. I'm trying to see if there's anything else.
Do you like that soda? Sorry.
Question 1, desert island, one song, one game, one food.
One song.
If you're stuck on a desert island, you could only have one song, one game, and one food. What would it be?
Oh my gosh. I have no idea. Because every song gets like agitating and enraging eventually if that's all you listen to.
It doesn't have to be playing all the time. It's just the one that you can go to. It's the only one you have floating around. But I think you'd have to go with like something that's not poppy at all. I think like something
I'm thinking something classical. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Because you're like,
but
you're
I don't know the names
nuance.
of them.
Yeah, you'd find nuance in it over time that you wouldn't necessarily find there before. Okay, so then what's one game?
Yeah.
If you could have one game to play to the ends of time,
Okay.
what would that game be?
Oh no.
Ocarina
I was gonna
of
say
Time.
Okagi, which is a PlayStation 2 title that most people have never heard of, and I love it so much.
Is that
But
the one
it
with
has
the
turned.
wolf? Is that the one with the painting and the wolf?
That's Okami. But
See, I
yes,
don't know.
they're very close. It's very close. Okagi is a JRPG turn-based fighting game, and it's just I love it. Anyways, but no, probably Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
Because it has good story elements and variety of characters. There's different tasks. It's also it's like an RPG. It's a first person shooter with RPG elements in it, but the humor is there, which is actually the same thing with Okagi. It's Okagi the Shadow King. The Shadow King humor is like it's so funny. Oh man. Anyways.
And then lastly, one food. Desert island. One food that you could eat forever and ever. What is your go-to food? Pizza? Pizza. That's my answer too, because pizza is infinitely changeable. You didn't say what kind of pizza. You just said one food, and I'm like, pizza, man.
Yeah. There's
it's
even dessert pizzas
exactly.
and like
exactly
fancy like vegan pizzas, or pizza has become, you can make it like sushi pizza, like you just put the rice down. So pizza is just a word for like a circular, big flat circular food that you put things on and use your fingers to eat, right? So pizza.
Somebody said Baby Shark is their song on the island. No way, man. Thank you for that look on your face. I appreciate that.
do.
My kid's in elementary school, and every day when they get out of school, there's at least 10 kids screaming that damn song. It just drives me
Oh,
nuts.
really?
Yeah.
That's
So
terrible.
it's tacos. Tacos are the other. That would have been the other one that I would have gone with. Just tacos.
Oh.
You couldn't go pizza. So But
Tacos
again,
are good.
That's just cheating, as they're saying. So use the loophole. Just say something edible. Right. Meat.
Was pizza not loophole enough?
Yeah. Right. Totally.
You guys are so picky. You've used the wrong loophole. Pick a different one.
All right. Any other questions for Shay before we wrap this up? I would like to just say you are a favorite person of mine in this world, and I'm glad that you're in my world. You make my world a better place for being in it. You are a hilarious person. Yes, you. And you bring me joy when you're around. So I do appreciate you taking the time and literally waking up to come and do this.
I went to bed early last night.
Well, that's just
For you,
silly.
Paul.
Why would you do
For
that?
you, Paul.
Well,
Well, so that I
appreciate
can be
that.
up early. For you, Paul.
Hey now, I am a married man. No. What's your favorite color? Somebody wants
That's
to know.
the challenge.
Whoa.
I'm kidding. I'm so super kidding. Because for those who don't know, we were talking. Paul and I were actually talking about that last night.
We were, and it makes it really weird and awkward. I got a little flush there, though.
That on you.
Got some color in my cheeks on that one. So that's the challenge. So, no, what's your favorite color? Somebody asked. These are like the most generic questions. What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is yellow.
I was gonna say yellow. That was gonna be my.
It
guess.
is yellow.
Yeah.
But it's purple if it's something that I can wear. like so my favorite color is yellow, and I will put it everywhere. But my skin tone, like the undertones of my skin, and because I'm so pasty, you can really see the undertones. I just look really jaundiced and sickly if I'm wearing yellow for the most part. This yellow is okay. It's bright enough, and it's not like a ton of it. But if it was like, yeah, solid yellow, I would look like very ill. I already look ill. I look like crap, but that's okay. But then purple, right? Purple is good.
Hey, I heard a doctor many years ago say pale is the new tan, and I'm gonna run with that. I don't like to be sunbaked, and I'm gonna look, because I'm 65 and I look this good. I mean, in another, yeah, I know. Stay out of the sun, boys and girls.
Wow.
Yeah, I even use SPF to stay inside. I'm that scared of the sun.
Hashtag vampire.
Can you ask Shay what I should ask you to ask? Okay, Shay, what should Soda ask you to ask? You sure that was a doctor? You look like you're 40, Paul. Well, that's
Ouch, you just said you're 60, though.
Person
Soda, I don't know.
What question do you most not want Paul to ask you? No. Do you know what costume you want to make for the TwitchCon cosplay contest next year? That's a good question. But
who asked me that?
Winstar. But you wouldn't want to spoil that too early, would you?
Winstar asked that. I totally thought Caspian, cheeky Caspian, would ask that. I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah. I thought about doing a cosplay for it because of my background, but I'm like, I'm not a cosplay person. Like, I would put it on only to do the cosplay content. I'm not a wander around in a costume kind of guy. So even though I do dress up as Pee Wee Herman every once in a while, just for fun.
I thought that was just for Halloween.
Sure.
Now
Yeah,
you're scaring me.
My wife actually. I was chasing my kids around the other day like that. They thought it was hilarious.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, it's some weird role play my wife and I do. So I'm Pee Wee Herman.
Oh my, okay.
She's Cherry. It's all
information. TMI, Paul. She's gonna find those. You're in trouble.
He read the question, but then didn't give her a chance to answer. I was hoping for an Art Linkletter moment.
What question? What question should you ask the question to question? Ask
yes.
me.
No, I believe the person is, what question do you not want Paul to answer or ask you, whatever. So,
oh.
We believe it or not, that is actually a question that I ask streamers before we start this interview process is, what would you not like me to talk about? And everybody oddly has something completely different that they don't want to talk about. But
I really don't want to talk about is my descent from heaven. It was just really painful.
It was. It's killing me. No, I'm just
softly. You've aged quite a bit in the last hour and a half, I must say.
I really have. I hope you have a red bicycle too. I do.
Ow, my teeth.
Did you just pop yourself in the teeth of your cup? Nice.
Yeah. I did.
All right. Well, then we'll. On the show, kids say the darndest things. He used to ask kids like that, or what did your parents tell you not to say on the show? And then the kids would actually say it. All right. Well, we'll wrap it up there. So.
Love you, Coraline.
Yes. Well, again, next March, everyone should come. Capital City Comic-Con in Victoria next March. Everyone should come.
Yes, that's where I met Andy, you guys, and that's where I got like sucked into the Twitch sphere.
That's not bad.
Let me out. Let me out.
Nah, you're here forever. All right. Well, thank you again, Shay, for taking time out of
your
day
to
join me. So
thank you, Paul.
I can't do that back because it just looks creepy when guys do that. So just
does it?
Oh yeah. If I said that right.
Well, with that face, I mean,
You know, like no, you don't want to. That's just wrong.
I hope someone's clipping.
Oh, I'm sure they will. So, all right. Now,
No,
so
thank you so much for having me, Paul.
yes,
It was
yes.
good. It was
And
good
thank you
to
for the
hang
ice
out with
cream.
you.
Yeah, and it's
Thank you for the
always
ice
a
cream.
pleasure. And we will definitely make sure if you're not following Shay, can I get a shout out for Shay in the chat there? If you're not following Shay, which I'm sure all of you already are, you should be following ChezRawz. And
Check.
yeah, I'm
We
Paul
share the
Pape.
shout out for Paul. I hope you guys are all following Paul. Isn't he fantastic? See, I told you.
Well,
Oh, Paul.
Yes.
Paul.
Yes. That face.
Would you mind, if it's not an imposition, could you show everybody who's not usually here, like just with your, just pan your camera around like all your cool stuff that you've made?
Oh,
So you guys,
you want to see
when
the
I
nerd
first,
wall?
yes, when I first saw Paul streaming, he was making a pop-up book to be used in a live production of, was it Hocus Pocus?
No, that wasn't the pop-up.
No,
The
no,
pop-up
no.
book I was
That
using, that I was making, was actually for. It was from the movie Enchanted.
Right.
From the Disney movie Enchanted. I was making. They wanted a real life version of that book. I did make the Hocus Pocus book too. That was a different one. So.
Yeah. You did.
Yeah. Okay. So this is you want to see the nerd wall. So I'll see if I can adjust
Yes,
the
please.
camera here. Hold on a second. I got to get up though to do it. So. All right. Okay. I don't know if you can see. Okay.
Paul is awesome streamer.
So
Paul's fantastic.
the nerd wall.
You guys got to check out his wall. Check this out.
Let's see if I can pan across all the nerdliness here. And
Look
it
at all
goes
those things.
on and on. There's James's dragon, and there's Johnny Depp. Yeah. Okay. That's far. Yeah. That's about as far as it goes there. So, yes,
Right?
all the nerdiness.
And how much of that did you make yourself, Paul?
Probably about 60% is stuff that I've made, and I let my kids play with. And some of it is research, and some of it is just kind of cool things that I like to have lying around and whatnot. So, but yeah, it's just nerdy stuff.
It's cool
And yes,
stuff.
it is a magnetic board that holds all my tools. Yeah, so I can just like throw things behind me and they stick to the wall. So I like that. That was the must, because I started and it was literally just out to the four naked people on the outside. That's all it was, and it went straight up. Those are models.
Or naked people?
Yeah, if you notice, I've got them
Casted.
covered now. My kids came down and they're like, "But you covered over the naked people, Dad." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, because I'm doing these like not adult streams, like family friendly."
I covered the naked people because I'm doing adult streams.
Yeah, and everything that I do, you guys are joking. You're to teach me your ways. Actually, that's what I do. I educate people on how I do everything that I do. I don't just do it. I actually talk you through the process the entire time. So
Yeah, Will, you gotta. So WBT, that's Will. Will, you gotta follow Paul. I'm telling you. Okay, so, and Caspian giving me a hard time about being lewd. Paul is no better. He blames me for the rated M, but he did that before.
Yeah,
I mean, after I showed up, but before.
my late night streams get they're I mean, we've done adult toy streams before. This is not going into the YouTube video, by the way. We stopped this is just for you streamer folk here. But yeah, we've done adult themed toys and such before as well. So yeah, that's hey, whatever. When you get asked to make anything, you tend up making anything. So yes,
Coincidentally, we're both friends with Greek.
With Greek mustachio. That's right. All the lewd.
Yeah, that's right. Blame Greek. It's all
Totally his fault.
Where is Greek? What is he doing?
He bought a PS4.
Man.
He bought a PS4. We'll never hear from him again.
Oh.
So, yeah. He got it yesterday. So.
Yep. What is he got Red Dead on there now or something?
He does.
Just like good guess.
I love that
Only
game.
ever seen him.
I will never play it because it will suck me into the game world too much. I'd never get out of it. So I watch other people play it, and then I'm like, all right, I know how it works. I'm done. Can you get a 1/3 scale replica of shit? You can. I do scale replicas of action figures. You can see there's an action figure of from the 100, the TV show The 100. And then there's also one over here, which you can't really see that well. It's right. Let me see. Bring your arm back, Paul. Right here. That's actually Jimmy Fallon, Spider-Man, that I did for him.
So yeah, you guys. Paul does work for the Late Show. That's the Late Show, right? With Jimmy Fallon.
That's the Tonight Show. With
the Tonight Show.
Dave, it's Jimmy Fallon. So
David Letterman.
That just shows you how old I am. I'm trying. I have a stupid studio tour. There it is. There's my studio tour. If you'd like to actually see the studio tour, there you go. Not that that's neither here nor thither. But I want to interview people because I am like you. I am a homebody. I don't get out much, and so I'm like I want to meet you people because when you're 40 something, making friends is not easy. So you're like let's chat with people, and I like typing, but chat it's not as interactive as actually talking with people. So
yeah, well, you miss a lot with typing, right? You miss tone and facial expressions and body language and whatever. And we are from a different generation. We did not grow up with little texties glued to our face. So come on, don't just sit there and stare at me.
With really pizza eating action. Yeah, Danber, I love, when you're eating, you're always like this eating, which I think is hilarious. I'm like, just eat your food. No one's going to care. Just as long as you're not like ASMRing into the microphone, nobody's going to care,
I just don't want to be like, blah, blah, blah.
Thank you, Grim, for giving my bot a sub. I appreciate that. 116 gift subs. Thank you, buddy.
Yay, Grim.
Yes. Let me see. ChezRawz, when are you doing chat with fans streams? Says Coralise. Coralise? Is that what it is? Coralise. When are you doing a chat with fans streamed? Oh, that's a good question. So
I would love to do that one day. That's part of why there's a new area in the Discord called People Without a Microphone. Oh. Although did you say fans? It said fam, right? Fam.
Is it fam or is it fans?
Fam. I don't know. Where'd Coralise say the word? No, it said
chat with fans with an N. Yeah.
Mankeys. No, Coralise. Fam. But yes, one day, when I'm not streaming, we can all just like hang out and chill in there. Or I suppose, okay, I'll stop petting you. I suppose while streaming too, we can have people on the Discord. That's the thing that happens. It's just hard to moderate what comes out of people's mouths.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, I totally get that, and I've been doing that more and more lately, just to have somebody chatting in the ear, so you can have a conversation constantly going, and such. I'll do that more and more, which is nice because it gives you someone to talk with, and then it helps if I have to get up to go spray paint something or whatnot. It allows them to keep talking with the stream or whatnot. So. I think that is interesting. We are there's a bunch of us tomorrow evening, like 4 p.m. for me, so it'd be 2 p.m. for you, but then going, I'm sure, way off into the evening, we're going to do a 10-person at a time video stream from Discord. So you can have 10 people at once on Discord, yammering at the same time. Playing games, having fun, that kind of stuff. And so, and then we'll be switching people in and out as they need to come and go, and obviously I've extended an invitation to you as well, Shay, so you can feel free to pop in and have that kind of fun thing happening.
I will pop out in.
But we're
words.
But I bought a game. Who's most likely to? So just an example here. Who's most likely to have peaked in high school? Who's most likely to call dibs on people at parties? Who'd most likely wouldn't care if they got caught masturbating? Things like that. So we'll be so. Ooh, D&D on Shay's Discord. That'd be fun.
I don't D&D. Oh, no, Caspian.
I believe you can also edit rooms to limit how many people can join. Oh, you can. We're trying to max it out. We're seeing how many people we could actually get to go do this.
What happened? Oh, there we go.
No, I'm still there. Did I freeze?
There was just like a brief blip of the audio, so...
Oh.
And at the same time, I had just accidentally minimized.
I peaked in preschool. Oh. Yeah, NTG does.
Aww. Not true, Coral Eyes.
The D&D online, all downhill from there. Do you
NTG
think?
is a wonderful lady.
Not
I need to
all
hang out with her
people.
again soon.
Yes, yes.
I have a toque for her. I need to give it to her.
That
For
you
one
do.
thing. For
Yes.
another, then I'll be like, here's a toque. Okay, now we have to hang out all day. Ha ha ha.
Excellent.
I mean,
Yeah, well, no, I don't think so. You've met the swamp creature. You survived the stare of the swamp creature, so you know you'll be all right. So,
well, yeah, we've hung out.
yeah, so it's all good.
It's just been a while. Apparently, aside from TwitchCon, it's been since like the end of August. That's so long ago.
That it is. That
So
it
long ago.
is. So, creeper fan Shay engage. That's right. A doctor peaked in Doctor peaked in preschool. Must have been a gangsta preschooler. Yeah. Thank you everybody for joining us. Join us next week, same bat time, same bat channel, for some more Ice Cream with Streamers.